Right, lots of new faces. What is sort of sticking out to you as you get going here after the result?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, a bunch of new faces. And obviously some familiar faces, though. Guys who I've played with. Everybody knows throughout the league that we've brought in. It was a year that we had to make some changes, and I'll be honest with you, it's a better locker room right now than it was in the past. And that doesn't always guarantee results, but it might push us through those tough times throughout the season where we might find ourselves in a little bit of a rut, and maybe instead of 7-8 games where we're kind of commiserating, we find ourselves lifted after 2 or 3 games or something like that. So it's just a little bit different attitude around here, and we hope that translates into good result.
Did it take you a while to come to sort of grips with the fact that things needed to change? That they had such a sorrow. No, it didn't. It didn't.
No, I mean, to be honest, it was time, and every couple of years, a team is always going to have to go through changes to grow, and you get a certain amount of time with a certain group of players, and if you don't win, you got to change it, and it's most of the time it's going to be your star players that you try and change and bring them in with other well-known players around the league, and that's just the nature of the game, and that's the business part of it. So it kind of is what it is, and we did lose some big names and some very good players, but I think we've also brought in some great players as well to fill in the shoes, and I think the group's a little bit stronger.
How important is that, the chemistry, having the kind of like locker room?
Yeah, I think the locker room's extremely important, and like I said, I think it'll be different this year than it was last year, and like I said, it doesn't guarantee results or anything, but you always want to go to a place where you're comfortable, and a place where the guys around you, the spirits are always lifted, and we haven't lost any games yet, so it's tough to tell if this group is going to stick together, if it's not. But first judgment's coming in the first. I've only been with the group. This is my first full training with all the guys. So first impressions are it's a good bunch of guys and a bunch of hard workers, and like I said, it doesn't guarantee anything, but it might bring us closer in certain situations.
What did your time with the U.S. Women's National Team do to your game over the last couple of weeks?
Those camps are always tough, but I think when you go into those, you tend to you grow as a player, and you start to see things a little bit different. I think that things maybe slow down a little bit different. The game slows down a little bit, but you also like to learn from the best players in the league too. What are guys like Kyle Beckman and Brad Davis, who are still captains of their team, and they're still in the national team picture, and most likely going to a World Cup, and they're doing that, in 3 years, 4 years, my seniors. So, learning little nuances from them, and maintenance of the body, and getting a little bit different. You have the great coaching staff here, probably the best fitness coach, but then you go in there and you have another world-class fitness coach, and obviously a coach who has done extremely well with the U.S. team last year. So it's a different group, but you tend to pick up little things.
What were the takeaways of being in Brazil, and how important was to get that kind of acclimation?
Yeah. We'll see how many guys come from MLS, that were in that camp that go to the World Cup. But, you always want to, it's always nice to be familiar with a place, and especially one that's so far away and on such a big stage. So, you kind of get familiar with the surroundings and what to expect, weather, food, whatever it is, little things, the facilities, so that when you go, you're not starstruck. It doesn't take you 4 or 5 days to kind of check out the facilities. Where's the bathrooms? Little things like that. You know what you're getting into, and it makes the transition that much easier.
Do you feel any more confident or sure that you'll be part of that camp?
No, and I won't be confident or sure until the name's on the list, and that's how I'm going to approach it, and that's how you just hope that the next call comes your way, and that's kind of my focus right now.
Is it hard at all not to think about that now you're back here and you've got to focus on the club season to not have that now that you're in there?
Yeah, well, when I'm home, I don't think about it, but then Gash talks to me every other day about it. You guys talk to me every day about it, so. No, but it's it's all part of it, and it is a big deal, and I try to dumb it down, but it is a big deal. But I don't want to focus on that right now. My focus is on right now. It's on March 8th, and building the relationships with these guys, and establishing a style of play, and getting guys healthy, and getting guys going 100% here, and that's where my focus will remain until you switch places. You know what I mean? And that's I think I've done a good job of that, and I think that's benefited me on both sides of it. So I'll continue to do that.
How is it being back in Seattle?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it feels so good. Especially 2 days off, just mellow at home and hanging out, and good to see the wife. Good to hang out with friends as well. And the focus turns now to, like I said, to March 8th. But just being home is, I leave again on this coming week. So you enjoy it as much as you can.
For this club, what does it mean to them to have players like you, DeAndre, Clint, who's overseas? having those kind of experiences and bringing them back here to the rest of the guys?
Yeah, I think I think the coaching staff, obviously, if they didn't believe in it, then they wouldn't let us go. They wouldn't release us. They wouldn't let Clint go on alone. They wouldn't, they'd probably ask for him a little bit earlier to build with the group. But Clint is, I think at a different stage than all of us. He's going to come in mid-season form almost. He's got 2 months under his belt now at a Premier League level. Whether or not you're winning games, scoring goals, it's coming in fit and then doing the business here. So DeAndre and I had a good jump start in January, a good fitness base, and the play is different. And sometimes, to be honest, you feel there's a little bit of a transition coming back from those camps, and you kind of hit a little bit of a lull that I've experienced over the past 3 years for a week or two, and then you feel good coming out of it. So there is a transition there, but I think that the club feels confident, and I think that it's one that they've patted us on the back, saying you got through it healthy, and learn what you did there and bring those experiences back to the club team.
What did you and DeAndre learn about each other there that you can bring here?
Yeah, well, I think we built a good relationship. Like I said with Matt, is you have however many guys on the team, 30 guys, and you're going to be closer with some guys than you are with others. And DeAndre and I, whether it was age difference or just he lived on a different part of town, weren't extremely close. We were friends, but something that we learned together is that even though we were battling for the same position in one camp, we were kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum. And I thought that we both handled it well. He handled it like a veteran would, and took it as a learning experience, and obviously was able to prove enough in the 3 weeks that he deserved a first cap, and Jurgen saw that. So credit to him in putting in the work. But I think we learned both from each other that at the end of the day, we're both here for the Sounders, and he's going to have the right back spot, and I'll probably be playing right mid. So little things that we can pick up off of each other playing together on the field is what we'll carry back here. Cool.
Thank you,
All right.
Thanks, Brad.
Look at the pace. In our goal. Oh, it is fantastic. Absolutely sensational by the Sounders. Hey kids, come train like the first team. Join us this year at Sounders FC Youth Soccer Camps. Have fun and improve your skills. Meet players, make friends and learn from the best. Visit camps.soundersfc.com. Space is limited, so sign up today.